everybody, it's your travel agent David, and we are wrapping up our 7-day cruise on the Rhapsody of the Seas, going from San Juan, Puerto Rico to St. Thomas, St. Martin, St. Croix, St. Kitts, and Barbados. I want to go over several different areas of this ship, starting with ship condition, cleanliness, dining areas, activities, casino, room, and shops. I'm going to try and be as all-inclusive as I can and as fair as I can. And I say that because the Rhapsody of the Seas is the second oldest ship in the fleet. And we have been on the Grandeur of the Seas, which is the oldest ship. I've also been on the Allure, the Oasis, the Jewel, there's the Grandeur. I've been on the Harmony, the Mariner, and the Quantum of the Seas. So I've been on 7 royal ships spread out on 4 different classes. And so I have a good experience of, actually 5 classes, of cruising with royal. The Rhapsody of the Seas, it went through some kind of dry dock in 2016 for some upgrades. It went through in 2022 as well, but it was mainly for maintenance, and they did update some tech in the elevators, but that was really about it. This ship looks like it hasn't been updated since 1997 when it came out. Let's start with the front, and we'll work my way out. Okay. The appearance of everything just looks old. Okay. The theater, right, the front part. I've been in 4 seats in that theater. 3 of them have been broken. The seats look like they're from 1997. The vibe from the theater just feels like it's 1997. The architecture, the only thing that looks modern is the light system. They probably updated that in 2016 and as things break, but that's really the only thing that looks relatively modern. Well, you come out to the Centrum. The Centrum is really nice. But again, the seating around there looks old and dated. It's an open air concept from deck 4 to deck 8, I think is where it goes all the way up to. Very nice open feel to it. And then you work your way through the casino. Well, we'll get into that later. But as you work your way through the casino, you get to the back of the ship. The solarium, it's very boring. It's very boring. It's probably the most boring looking solarium that I've ever been to on any cruise line. It looks like it was an Egyptian theme, and it's just some columns with some hieroglyphs in it, and then like 4 busts. That's really it. The 2 hot tubs they have in there, they're all faded. The coating's peeling off of it. There's a couple places that have what look like to be tape marks on it, so I don't know if it's just the labels have peeled off of it, or if they've actually covering up exposed fiberglass or not. And then they're not very big. They've put in, instead of having a step down, they put 2 triangles, one on each, like when you come up, there's a triangle here and a triangle here. So you can really only fit like 1 person here, 2 people here, and then 2 people here. So it's not a very, like comfortably anyway, they're not very big. The pool, it's like 5'6". So it's like to the top line. If I'm not on my tippy toes, the water line's right here. So and I'm 5'8". So if you're 5'4", the water line's here. I don't understand why they do that. So there's hardly anybody in the pool because they're all just keep bobbing up and down on their tippy toes, just trying to stay afloat. Most of them are just sitting in the lounger area on the side of the lounging area. There were no loungers there, just to relax. The spa, it's the spa. The gym's very small, very, very, very small. If you look at my video, I've done a ship tour of the video, so I'm not going to get into specifics on a lot of things because I've already got it on that video. But the going down the halls, the pictures they have on the hallways, they look like they were the original ones from 1997. The frames look like they're from 1997 because they're all nicked up and dented and whatever. The carpet feels like it's from 1997. It's just the whole ship. It really needs to be either taken out of service or a lot of money invested into upgrading it. Cleanliness. This ship is clean. They do a great job at cleaning it. I always see the same people doing the cleaning. I've not had any issues with anything, and I've never had an issue with cleanliness with Royal to begin with. But everything's been very clean. We'll get into the Windjammer cleanliness here in a minute. But the ship itself, the casino, there are always people wiping down the machines. There's always people wiping down the handrails on the steps, wiping down the elevators, vacuuming. It's just, they do a good job cleaning this ship, so it's very clean. Dining areas. I want to start with the Windjammer, and I want to work my way down to the main dining room. The Windjammer. The food selection has been the worst selection I've ever seen on a Royal Caribbean ship. The taste has been very bland. Bacon, it's either like almost raw, just one level above raw, or it's like I don't even know how to explain it. Like half of it's like burnt and crispy, and the other half is like loose and like flapping around. And then they just throw everything like sheets into the whatever they're using to cook it. So then you pick up one piece, there's like 4 or 5 of them attached to each other. The fruit has always looked bad. The bananas especially. He even got a banana today. She unpeeled it, and like the top half of it looked like it was like had been in a fight with Mike Tyson, like the young Mike Tyson, not the one that got paid to not hit Jake Paul. It was nasty. It was absolutely disgusting. The lettuce is one step away from being brown almost every day. Because the selection was pretty bad. I'd say five days out of the 7, I had a hamburger for lunch. So I was always there with the lettuce. It's not the best. The service in there is horrible. Only one time out of about 13 meals did somebody come by and see how our meal was, see if we needed a drink or needed anything. Every Windjammer I've ever been to through Royal, I've had to tell people 2 or 3 times every day, no, I'm good, or can you get me this or whatever. This ship, not happening. The soda machines in the Windjammer, a lot of the selection has been out since the first day. I love root beer. I've had root beer the first day, and it's been out ever since then. Some of the fruit, like the other day, I went to one of them, and like there's like 9 different selection of drinks that were already out. Yesterday, the ice cream machine, all they had was chocolate left. They were out of vanilla, and so because they couldn't have vanilla, they couldn't make swirl either. It's just they don't. I don't know if it's because this is the middle of December, or the 15th of December, 2024 right now, just for perspective. I don't know if it's because it's the end of the year, the middle of the month, whatever. But when we were in St. Croix, they were loading all kinds of stuff up onto the ship. So I don't know why they're lacking selection and stuff like that. Cafe Latitudes, deck 5. 6. They have their coffee. It's the coffee shop, and they have just the same sampling of desserts and sandwiches there. But that's every Royal ship. We didn't eat there because the line was always pretty long, and when we passed by it, we weren't hungry, kind of thing. So I don't know too much about the tasting of that food. We'll go down to the Park Cafe, and then we'll finish with the main dining room. Park Cafe. It's in the solarium. They don't have a solarium cafe. It's the Park Cafe. They have gluten-free pizza there. So if you have gluten intolerance, you go there and they have gluten-free pizza. They have the same pizzas because there's no Sorrentos here, so you can get the pizza when the Park Cafe is open. Same sandwiches, same egg salad, same tuna salad. They rotate the desserts a couple times, but it's pretty much the same food the whole entire 7 days. Then they don't limit the quantity of food that you can take. So one day there was a guy that took about, I don't know, the equivalent of 3.5 pizzas with him, and his, I'm assuming, wife took about the quantity of about 2 pizzas. And then by the time I get up there was like no pizza, and I had to wait for it. They really need to limit, hey, you can get like no more than half a pizza at a time. Come back, get all you want, but limit so other people can have some too. Main dining room. The staff, and I'm going to talk about the staff here in a little bit on its own little topic, but the food in the main dining room, very bland, barely warm, horrible selection. This isn't my opinion. This was everybody at the table's opinion. The people that were at the table with us, Diamond members, so they've cruised a lot with Royal as well. We're Platinum, about to be Emerald, so we've cruised with them a lot. The worst food ever. Very bland. I don't even know how to describe. The selection was horrible. It wasn't the best. So that kind of covers the food. Now let's talk about the staff. The staff in the main dining room, and I'm going to go back up. The staff of the main dining room, phenomenal. Our people, we got very lucky. Our waiter and assistant waiter, very attentive. By the third day, they figured out what my drink choices were and Heason's drink choices were, as well as everybody at the table. And so we didn't have to ask for our drinks. They brought them. The head waiter, usually we meet the head waiter every day as well. Hey, just a quick, hey, they're popping to every table, everything good kind of stuff. With Heason's gluten intolerance, every day the head waiter would come by from all the other ships that we've been on since she's been gluten intolerant, and they specifically get with her, go over the menu. This is what's gluten free. This is what we can make gluten free. Things like that. We met the head waiter on day 3, and then we met him yesterday for his little pop by, so he can make sure we give everybody a 10. That's it. That's the only time we ever met the head waiter. The waiter took Heason's order and stuff like that. But I've just found that every other ship, it's been the head waiter that's come by to make sure that there's no issues with potential cross-contamination or misinterpretation of what is or isn't gluten-free. I would say half the staff in the main dining room, very unfriendly. They're doing their thing. And I get it, they're busy, they're trying to serve a lot of people, but so is everybody else in every other ship we've been on. And everywhere I've ever been, the staff will stop or move out of the way for the guests. Not this one. For example, 2 days ago, I was going through the main dining room on the right-hand side as I was coming around, so that people who were coming this way could go on the left, right? There's a waiter with nothing in his hands on, we were coming head to head, and he never got into the side so where we could pass, so I had to get out of the way. And I even smiled to him and said hello, and he didn't even say nothing to me. It's been like that with a lot of the staff there. And then I had breakfast in the main dining room one time, and it was done because I ordered, it was a very difficult menu. I wanted French toast, a double order of bacon crispy, and a hash brown. I got French toast, 1 order of bacon, 1 order of sausage, no hash brown. It's just like they don't. I don't know. It's not they don't have the A team on this ship. That's for sure. Go through the ship. Pretty much every ship I've been on, everybody says hello. How are you? How's your day? They give you a greeting, and stuff like that. You do the same thing, and hardly anybody gives you eye contact. They won't look at you, they won't greet you, or they won't say nothing to you first. You gotta say something to them. It's been a weird ship. Every ship that we've been on, we've met the cabin attendant the first day, and every day thereafter. Ours was a ninja. We ran into him on the 3rd day. I've run into him twice since then, so I've seen him 3 times on a 7-day cruise. And the 3 times I've seen him, it was never at the room. It was just like happened to be in the hallway. We put pictures on the wall or the door to decorate the room. So the first day on day 3, and I don't think he would have known who we were if it wasn't for the pictures, because then he's like, "Hey, Sir David," and I was like, "Who's this?" Like, "Hey, who are you? Are you our cabin attendant?" kind of thing. But if we didn't have the pictures, I don't think he would have been able to identify us. And who knows when we might have seen him. It may not have been until like day 6 yesterday when he was delivering the liquor that we bought in town. So the staff in the Windjammer, again, very unattentive. They never come by for the one time out of about 13, 14 meals we've had in the Windjammer. Did anybody come by and see if we needed a refill or needed anything? The other day I asked Heisha, and I was like, hey, do you want anything? She's like, well, I'll have a soda. Well, we forgot to bring our little cups, right? So you can't get soda without this. Unless you use one of the wait staff, so they can go into the back area and get it for you. And I was like, well, I don't have the cups. And she's like, well, somebody to come by and take our... I'm like, this is like day 5. We've seen one person. Nobody's coming. What kind of juice do you want? So it's just... And like they're filling stuff up or whatever, and I always say hello, and they're like, hello. Like very short and like I'm bothering them kind of stuff. Never had that experience before. Activities. You got the rock climbing wall. You got the casino. You got the theater. That's all you got on this ship. So if you're bringing kids, they're going to hate you. Especially if they've been on an Oasis class. And I just say that because there's nothing really for kids. They do have the teen center and the stuff like that, but it's very, very small because there's hardly any kids on this ship. The arcade has about 8 games in it. If you look at my video, the tour of the Rhapsody of the Seas, you will see exactly what is available. The theater at night, they have Broadway-esque shows. They had a Celine Dion experience. The singer, she sounded very similar to Celine Dion, which was really cool. But she was trying to like bring in Celine Dion, and she is not Celine Dion, and she's good, but she's over here acting like she's like Adele or something, But the entertainment hasn't been like awe-inspiring or anything like that. It's been like block checked. We've seen 3 shows in there. We've been there for the Love and Marriage show. They do the regular games, the Crazy Quests, the Battle of the Sexes, the Sexiest Man. They do those. And then the rest of it during it is just somebody singing or somebody playing an instrument or trivia. So there's just not a lot of stuff to do on here. So make sure you bring some stuff to keep yourself entertained. Fortunately, we brought some cards, because we've played a lot of rummy on this cruise, because it's been a very boring cruise. And it's just not a lot to do. The daily planner looks full, but it's all these little BS things at the shops or the spa to try and get you doing this stuff. A lot of filler, a lot of fluff. Casino. The casino is very small. Half of it is smoking, half of it is non-smoking. The smoke scrubbers don't work very well, so it's all smoking. It's so bad that when you come out of the casino, you can go over to guest services or excursion desk, and you still smell the smoke. That's on deck 5. We're on deck 4. When we come down to deck 4, you can still smell the smoke. It's like it's coming down into the ship. One time, yesterday was the only time that we've been down there that somebody's come by asking if we want a drink. I don't know if this ship is just severely short-staffed or what, or like the officers of the ship their motto is that, the beatings will continue until morale improves. I don't know. It's just this. It's not the best. The room. You'll see the cabin review, but they have 2 110 outlets and 2 Euro plugs. That's it. The ship was put into service in 1997, and back then, nobody had cell phones, Apple Watches, laptops, GoPros, earbuds, you name it. They didn't have it. And when they came into retrofit in 2016, they never updated it. When it came in for its mechanical upgrade, they never upgraded. In 2022, I think it was, they never upgraded it. So fortunately, we brought outlets that have more than one port to them, so we're able to limp through. But it was like throughout the day, I'd have to come in and plug this in and unplug that and plug this in and unplug that. There's not a lot of storage. We're on deck 4. This is the lowest that we've ever been. I think the lowest that we've been ever before that was 5. Could be wrong, but this is our second ocean view room. This is the first time that I've ever heard the propeller system or the jets or whatever, the propulsion system that moves the ship horizontal when you're docking, that's just loud. And I don't know if we just weren't over it to where we heard it, but every day. And then it stopped. And then as it keeps moving over, they give it a little power, a little power, a little power. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked. So I will never come down to deck 4 again. We usually 7 is like where we like to stay at. But yeah, it's horrible. The shower is the small little shower with the super attractive shower curtain as the water comes in, right? As the water's flowing, it just likes to hug you. It's fantastic. It's a very small bathroom. It's the typical bathroom. Yeah, the shops. I don't really go into the shops, so this is like feedback from Heesian. They suck. So there's just not a lot of attractiveness out. Usually they put like nice shiny stuff out in the front windows to try and pull you in. No, in fact, I pointed this out to her. I was looking at the alcohol bottles. Those bottles have been there forever because they're all covered in dust. It's like they never take the stuff out and wipe it down, change it out, put something different in there. It's been like I think they're aging the malt to make it a little bit, get that scotch to be like 50 years aged versus 30 years. I don't know. Those bottles, they could very well have been in there since 1997. I don't know. It's just they were not very big. They're not very well selected. Usually somebody spends a lot of time going through the shops on more than one occasion. Somebody zipped through them one time and never looked back. So that's good for my wallet. But the shops just they're average mediocre. It's just been a very different cruise. Now, Heej and I have talked to probably 5 or 6 first-time cruisers, just bumping into people in the elevators or waiting in line for the dining room to open up, things like that. People on our excursions. And they're all talking, bad about the ship. So we kind of interject and just see, because we've been on several cruises, and we ask them, what's going on? It's the food, it's the service, it's the entertainment, it's the condition of the ship. And we explain to them, like, hey, don't base cruising as a whole or don't base Royal Caribbean as a whole off of this ship. We're one level away from dumpster fire. And, so we talk through, like, this is what you normally get, this is what you normally get, this is how this is, and this is how this normally is compared to this. And they always were, like, thankful for that, because they're like, yeah, because we were basing everything off of this ship. So I got on the Facebook page, and I even posted on there, hey, look, I've talked to several couples that have said, hey, this experience is not good, blah, 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 blah. And I explained to them, like, hey, look, this isn't what Royal is. It's not what Royal is about. We've got Diamond members at our table, and they're in the same thought process as us and everybody else we've kind of talked to about this ship. And so several people replied back to that post saying that they felt the same way. There is one that replied back that they're actually traveling with friends that are Diamond members, and they were explaining that this ship is nothing like what you can expect from other Royal experiences. So if you're coming on the Rhapsody of the Seas, just set the bar low so your expectations can be met or exceeded. But if you come in here with the normal Royal Caribbean expectations, you're going to be very significantly let down. If you are thinking about going on a destination and this ship is on it, and that's the only way you're going to get to that destination, you got to make that choice or whatever. But I can tell you right now, if I wanted to go to the most favorite place I haven't been yet, and the only way to get to it was on the Rhapsody of the Seas, I would just go and watch the YouTube videos about that destination. I will never come back onto the ship at all. Unless it's through like a year of dry dock and they gut it and they basically make a new ship out of it, I will never be on this boat again. I'm trying to be as independently perspective as possible. But everybody except for one person that I've talked to on this past 7 days is not impressed. And one's like, oh, it's great because there's not very many kids on this ship. That's the best part of it. I don't even know what... Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a unique experience. So until next time, I will see you next trip.